My boyfriend told me that I should not be bothered by dying patients because they are not family. So I ruined his big night. My boyfriend Kyle recently got promoted to general manager at the restaurant where he works. I work full-time as a pediatric nurse, and my hours are all over the place right now because of the virus. Anyway, when he got home to tell me about his promotion, I was ecstatic. He's a hard worker and deserves it 100%. But because it happened on a Tuesday, we decided we'd go for a celebratory dinner with our mutual friends Saturday night. I was scheduled to work Saturday, but I figured that as long as I could get home, shower, and change, all was well. I'll just sleep late on Sunday. So, fast forward to Saturday. I unfortunately lost a patient who had been fighting for her life since birth. I've been her nurse every time I worked in that department, and she and her family were very important to me. I was absolutely devastated. When I got home, the last thing on my mind was dinner. I told Kyle about what happened, and he gave me a hug and said he was sorry to hear that. About 10 minutes later, he softly asked if I was going to go shower before we left. I told him I really didn't feel like going out, but he insisted that I go since I had promised, and if he went without me, his friends would ask a lot of questions. I didn't want to, but I agreed since I did promise. While I tried to keep a smile on my face, it was obvious I was upset. One of our friends asked if I was okay, and before I could just say I had a rough day at work, Kyle said, "She's been bitching about a patient she lost at work today," and scoffed. I was flabbergasted. He's never said anything like that before. I replied, saying, "That patient was 3 months old." He shrugged and said that it was not my own child, and it shouldn't bother me this much. I was furious and embarrassed since this went down in front of our friends, so I just put down enough money for my meal and went home. I put his stuff in a box. He wasn't living with me but would stay with me 2 to 3 days a week. When he returned, he flipped out, and I just said I needed space. That was 2 weeks ago. I have since changed the lock since he had a spare key. He says I'm overreacting and that I'm an AH for ruining his big night, that I, selfishly, made it all about me. He accused me of thinking higher of myself because I'm a nurse and he works at a restaurant. Honestly, IDK where that came from. He also said that he figured since it was a celebratory dinner for him, he thought I was going to pay. And so walking out on him was very embarrassing because he didn't bring his wallet. One of our mutual friends, Amy, called me and said that while what Kyle said was fucked up my leaving, like that was unnecessary, and it made the whole night awkward. I feel bad for ruining the night for everyone else, but I just couldn't let him get away with that. I'm very proud to be a nurse, and I don't want anyone, especially my partner, to talk poorly about it. So do you guys think I'm TA for walking out on dinner? Update. So it's 10:20 a.m., and I can happily say Kyle is completely out of my life. His friend picked up the last of his stuff about an hour ago. I called Kyle and officially broke up with him, and his number is blocked. Time for a mimosa, aha.